Welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades, and I'm here to get you started on Unit 18, Long A Vowel Teams with AY. Please take a second to gather your materials. You will need your red book open to page 18. You'll also need some colorful pens, markers, crayons, or highlighters. Remember, whatever I mark on my board, you should be marking on your page. Please save room for a key as well. All right, so we have spent a lot of time learning about short vowels this year. Remember, those are the 5 short vowel sounds, a. We spent a little bit of time talking about the long vowel sounds. Long vowels say their name. So A says A, E says E, I says I, O says O, and U says U or oo. All right, well, we learned that a common way to make a long vowel is to use a silent E. Think back a few weeks ago, we learned that that silent E jumps over the consonant and tells the vowel, say your name. Well, today we're going to start learning about other ways to make vowels say their name. It turns out that there's something called a vowel team. When we take 2 vowels and put them together, they often create a long vowel sound. So the focus this week is long A, and the way we're going to make the long A sound is by using A and Y. Now I know Y is a consonant, right? We learned that it says Y in words like yellow or yawn. Well, in this situation, it is behaving like a vowel, so we call it part of the vowel team. So let's start by reading our words. Repeat after me and listen for that long A sound in each word. Here we go. Bay, day, hay, lay, may, pay, ray, say, they, and way. All right, so I want you to choose a color, and we're going to go through the list, and we're going to put a box around the A-Y. That is our vowel team. 2 letters working together to make one sound. We see that again in day, hay, lay, and may, pay, ray, and say. We're going to skip over number 9 and go on to way. So all of these words with a red box have a long A sound thanks to the pattern A-Y. All right, now let's go back to number 9. They is a very common word in our language. It's a word that you should know, but it doesn't have the A-Y. Instead, we are using E-Y to make that A sound. That's very unusual. The only other words I can think of that are spelled like that would be this kind of hey, like, hey, how are you? Or way, which is what little Miss Muffet eats, right? Sits on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. So this is not a common long A pattern, but it's still one that we should know. When we see EY at the end of a word, when it's a 1-syllable word, it's going to make a long A sound. Notice I said 1-syllable words because in other words like money or hockey or donkey or monkey, that EY is going to make an E sound. But here, 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 it makes a long A sound. Okay, now, it's been a while since we talked about consonant digraphs. Remember, those are 2 consonants that come together to make a sound. So an example this week would be the TH in they. When we put T and H together, they don't keep their sounds. They don't say to, They don't blend, they make a whole new th sound. So in our key, just as a reminder, that green box equals digraph, okay? And we've learned other digraphs as well. SH says sh, CH says ch, all right? Now what I want to do is I want to go through our list and look for the verbs. Remember, verbs are action words. So, I can't bay, I can't day, and I can't hay. But I can lay down, or I can lay something on the table. So that's a verb. I can't may, but I can pay, right? I can hand out money. I can't ray, but I can say. I can talk out loud, right? I can't they, and I can't weigh, because this kind of weigh is not what you do on a scale, right? Like you wouldn't say, use this kind of weigh to say the baby weighs 10 pounds. This kind of weigh would be like arrows, like go this way, go that way. Okay, so lay, pay, and say are our verbs this week. Okay, now let's talk about different verb tenses since we've been working on this all year. We can take lay and change it to lays, like she lays her books on the desk. We can change it to laying, like she is laying her books on the table. But look what happens when we change it to laid. We don't add ed. It's spelled like this, L-A-I-D. That's a really strange spelling, right? But it's important to know. Let's look at pay. My boss pays me every week. She is paying me on Friday. Last week I got paid. Now again, we would expect to add ed, but not here. Paid is spelled P-A-I-D. Very strange, right? Let's see what happens with say. My mom says I can go to the mall. That's how we spell it, but how do we pronounce it? Says, right? So notice the spelling makes sense. The pronunciation changed. So say becomes says, or saying, like as I was saying. But then look what happens to the past tense. We can't add ed. We're going to do the same thing we did with laid and paid, S-A-I-D, but we're going to give it a whole new pronunciation. It's not I said, it's I said. Okay, so really strange stuff going on here. Say becomes says, saying, and said. So just keep that in mind, okay? One last thing I want to talk about before we discuss the vocab is a new type of activity that you're doing on page 117. On the top, you are practicing adding S and ing endings. So just like I changed lay to lays and laying, you're going to change pay to pays and paying, and say to says and saying. But when you get to the bottom, you're looking for words that are related. So words that are related to day and words that are related to ray. In order to do that, you need to know what a compound word is. Okay? So we can take two words and glue them together to make a compound. So for instance, I could take the word day and I could add it to the word birth. And now I have a compound word. I've taken birth and day and put them together to mean the day of my birth or the day I was born. I can take hay and glue it to the word stack. Hay plus stack makes haystack. And now I have a compound word. A haystack is a stack of hay, right? Things that farm animals would eat. So when you get to page 117, you will be looking for some other compound words that have day and ray in them. All right, real quick, let's make sure we know what our words mean. So bay. If you think about a piece of land, and then so this is the land, and then it's surrounded by water. There might be a place, that's supposed to be my waves, where it looks like the water took a bite out of the land. So this little space is protected. There aren't going to be huge ocean waves or storms because it's protected. This area right here, this watery area that bites into the land, is called a bay. Okay? We know what a day is. I mentioned that hay is something that animals eat on a farm. To lay could mean to lay down or to lay something else down. May, notice we don't have an uppercase M, so we're not talking about the month of May here. We're talking about the word like, yes, you may have a snack, or I may go to the beach if it stops raining. Pay means give money. Ray, that would be, if you think about the sun and it shoots out all this light, these are rays of light. Okay, so rays are things that shoot out. Say means to talk. They means those people. And then way means, should I go this way or that way? Okay, so that's a word that describes where we go or maybe how we do something. Like, this is the way we make a cake. All right, that's all I have for you now. Good luck, and I will see you next time.